I think it's called OPI, but it's like $10 a bottle. There might be some that's better than that, but I don't know.
Adam seems ready.
I think I'm finally ready. I'm so sorry.
You like his hat?
But I
it's
will
cute. I like
go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Skibbity bop bop bop. Skibbity bop bop. Bippity bop bop.
Wildly Uninteresting Podcast, episode 130.
It's 125.
125.
Hang on.
What?
I don't know.
That's what happens when you take a break.
I thought we did 129 last week.
No,
No,
see,
it's
29
124.
was your episode of drinking.
God.
That's where we fucked up.
Yep.
So sorry.
It all runs together.
Episode 125 of the Wildly Uninteresting Podcast. I'm Adam, that's Ian, that's Sarah.
Hello.
We welcome you back on this rainy duty day that you can't see, so that's
Rainy
good.
duty day.
Pretty, I like it.
Sunshine in here all day,
Yeah.
every day,
So-
with the rainbows.
Yeah.
When I left the house, like it was sunny and raining.
Oh, that's when I went out just a minute
trips
ago
me
to the
out.
Kroger. I was like, how the hell can it be sunny and raining at the same time?
Yeah.
It's
It
always
baffled me.
super weird.
Somebody
to me.
didn't tell God.
Somebody needs to contact God, tell me you fucked up. No, welcome back.
Speaking
to
of God, look at my Satan water behind the rainbow.
Yeah.
Satan water.
It's unholy water.
And where did this Satan water come from? Why did we take a break?
It was in the
Oh.
Satanic Temple in
Satanic
Massachusetts there.
Dude, so when you go at, so if people don't know, Satanic Temple is where, what's the guy's name that started?
No.
No, it's not the
Not
same?
that guy, no.
Oh,
I don't know what that
I mean, they
guy's
do
name
respect
is.
the shit up, but it's not LaVey.
LaVey, yeah.
Because that's the Church of Satan.
Oh, okay.
And then the Satanic Temple, I don't know the dude's name. But
That's
they
the
still
one that we watched the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they still rep LaVey because, you know, he's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah,
that's their people.
there's a slight difference.
So, and this is in Salem, is that what you said, or is that, this is nice, dude.
It's a
So,
glorious place.
when you step into that place, does it feel different than like a normal church? I mean, not in the sense like they're of course worshiping in a different way, and it looks different. It's probably a little bit darker.
And it's just a house with shit on display.
Oh, okay.
It's not like, here's our fucking altar. I mean, they did have an altar, but they weren't like, here's our fucking altar.
'Cause I always wondered for like people like Satanists, right? Which
Right.
I think a lot of people have a preconceived idea like Satanists.
course they do.
they're just like
They're
they have
evil.
orgies and they're evil and they cut
Yeah,
people open.
orgies are
and
so
shit.
evil.
So many STDs.
But the truth is,
Just kidding.
being like a Satanist, it's just self-serving. Pretty much is a religion, self-serving. And isn't
Well,
that what
it's-
Christians are doing?
I wouldn't even consider it being self-serving. It's just holding yourself high.
Yeah. Okay.
And instead of putting your faith in other things, you're just like, I'm badass. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with the idea of specifically within, I guess LaVeyan Satanism, but the temple kind of has the same idea where it's like, you don't fuck with people.
Yeah.
Like you just keep to yourself. You don't try to fuck people that aren't wanting to fuck you.
yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool, man.
It's really not that bad of an ideal, and I think that in the beginning they got a bad name, especially from the Christian church. But in reality, they're
They
pretty
hate
decent.
Satan.
Yeah, well, it turns out the Catholic Church spreads negative propaganda about everybody,
Everything.
and Satan
everybody.
wasn't free from that.
It makes you want to go back. Like, how bad was Satan when he was, falling?
I
Yeah, how
guarantee not
bad
bad at
was
all.
he?
Well, see, that shit comes from like the Dante type stuff, like Dante's Inferno, like the whole thing, like that kind of shit didn't come around until like after the thousands. I forget what year exactly, but I mean it was pretty fucking late. So I mean, if
they
you
didn't
want
even
to
have
go,
a name for it,
yeah, if you want to go biblically, it's not even in there.
right? And that's what I'm
But the
saying. They
Catholic
didn't name
Church
him.
is like, oh well, let's fucking run with this.
Yeah, it
This is
wasn't.
cool.
It wasn't until that came out that they recognized, like, oh, a heaven above and a hell below, and
Yeah.
it's full of fire and brimstone and shit. That shit was made. That was a in real time story. That, I mean, within our recent past, not the beginning where Christ rose from the grave and shit, but we can actually date back to when that started. I mean, they can go back and see where they started, like, calling him the devil and demons.
Well,
and
they just do that about everybody. Because, I mean, if you're not a devil or a demon, then you're a heretic.
yeah.
And then, I started to look into Ber Ensemble, as they call him. The voodoo guy.
Yeah.
The Haitian, because he's like the keeper of the cemetery, like he'll dig a grave, then you die, and he'll watch over you, and you won't become a zombie and shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's very nice of him.
Yeah.
That stuff, it's pretty, it's pretty tame, really.
Yeah.
But, the propaganda machine of the Catholic Church was like, oh, man, they're raising the dead, and they're cursing people, and all this shit. And it's just, no, not true, man.
I wonder what the world would be like if, and which we watch stuff about, like, people in the hills and shit, West Virginia, and people of not a lower intelligence, but they just
Not a higher.
yeah,
Oh,
they
they're
don't
definitely
operate the
lower.
same.
Right.
And it doesn't. People around here, I'll actually even bring it home. People around here are just as bad, and the propaganda doesn't even have to be believable for a certain group of people, you know what I'm talking about, to latch onto it and be done. Like, they can't see past it. They spout it off to other people, and then it grows to this huge thing. Like, it's insane to me that nobody will look into anything. Nobody goes and reads the stories. And
I mean, plenty of people do. Just the majority doesn't.
the majority doesn't, yeah.
Well, and there's just so, with social media and, the internet in general now, everything just spreads so quickly.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to get information. So why wouldn't you look into something?
Man, I was, I forget what the fuck it was, but I was listening to something that was kind of talking about social media and shit. And, like the news cycle and all this other shit. But there's a part of humanity, like within us, that we want the news to be as bad as we think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it simplifies it. Then it gets into that whole idea, like the survivalist kind of stuff, where it strips away all of the gray area. And it's like, okay, I need this and this to survive.
Right.
So if the world is as bad as people want it to be or make it out to be, then it simplifies existence.
I think, too, people don't realize, especially with that being a basic instinct, people don't realize that that's what they're attached to, and that's what the news stories are portraying. And also, news stories have the last 10 years, they pump out this shit that they don't retract, and if they do, it's on a lower, like...
It's on, like, the last page of the newspaper.
It's so stupid. And after you get that fear and that anger and the hatred into the mind of the reader, you're over. You can't, like, sway them in a different direction, and we see that with a lot of our friends now, especially with the climate now. You can't change their mind at all. Like, there's no changing their mind. There's no, like, well, maybe it's not as bad as you, like, see it to be. Maybe they're portraying it to be that bad. And no, it's that bad. The world's going to end. Jesus Christ is coming back. We're all going to hell.
Dr. Drew calls it panic porn. I always like it whenever he says that.
He's a passionate man.
Dude, I love when he drops F-bombs. It makes me so happy.
It is awesome.
This is the coolest guy on the planet. But panic porn is such a good name for it because that's exactly what it is. Let's just freak them out and get them to do whatever and call it a day. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's an easier way to heighten your senses and shit. I feel alive.
Yeah.
We might die.
Go on a safari and stand in the middle of, the Sahara and expect a tiger to come get you.
Real danger.
Yeah, if you need it that bad.
I know that we're not immune to it. I know that there's some things that I'm like, oh God, and I fucking freak out. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah. But in all reality, it's easier for me to like take one day and just be like upset at it or whatever, and then the next day, like, maybe I should look into this a little more. Maybe there's a wider range of people that are having the same effect, and it's not just localized, and it's a bigger whatever, and then, make up my mind from there. I do have that same instinct where I'm like fear, anger, hate, oh my God. And then the next day, you wrap all that up like, I gotta fucking like get the facts and make a decision.
Yeah, you bring your emotions down some.
Sit down with a piece of watermelon. Yeah,
and just
relax
cool
a
off.
little bit.
Cool off.
Cool off. Aw.
That's what. So you go up to Salem, and you visited the satanic church.
Temple.
Satanic
Temple.
temple.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's
that
okay.
thing.
It's fine.
Where else
I'm
did
not
y'all
a
go?
member, I don't care.
Did you go where they made the first Ouija board?
No.
That's
I did
right.
end up finding. There was a store.
Tell me why not. No, I'm
I
joking.
don't know.
I'm just-
I don't know.
I don't think they were really. The first Ouija board was never made there. It was just made. It was a game.
I
or
feel
something.
like it was made overseas, but I don't know that. I've watched something about the Ouija board, but I don't
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah,
So
there was a store there though. They have a really cool one. It's like $180 or some shit.
yeah,
And eventually I'm gonna get one even better than that.
yeah.
But Casper's all like, no, don't you bring no demon into my house. Oh shit! And I'm like, I'm gonna.
I've heard a rumor.
I'm gonna
right?
make it count.
I've heard a rumor. I don't know how true it is, but if you buy a Salem Ouija board that was made and cut from like Salem wood and like everything from Salem and blessed by a real witch,
Yeah.
that when you take it home and then you try to get rid of it, whether you burn it, throw it out the window, throw it out of the car, whatever,
That sounds
it
like a
comes
Reddit
back.
story.
It comes back to you.
Don't you judge my man and where he gets his information.
I've heard
Just
that.
talking about researching things.
No,
I've heard this
not just like that.
that you can't get rid of a truly Salem
Yeah.
Ouija board. It
See,
comes back.
I'd like to believe that. What do you want?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not far. So.
Man, we went to Philly on the way.
Oh, God bless.
Philly sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hate that town. God.
Oh shit, I love it.
Why
I'm
do you-
so
why
happy
do
to
you hate
leave.
it?
It's just so shitty
Trash.
looking. The roads are crap. The people drive like assholes. It's like in New York, they at least kind of like adhere to the laws of the land.
Yeah.
In Philly's a free for all. They don't give a fuck.
Oh no.
I
Well,
felt like I was in India.
oh, I can see that. Yeah. Well, that's I watch a few of these Reddit videos that come straight from there because their homeless issue is like becoming this huge epidemic there.
Oh.
Well, everywhere.
Dude, there were people bumming, like, and, here, like, they'll sit on the curb or whatever at the light. Motherfuckers were just walking up the lanes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They don't care.
Like the Corsair people.
Every now and then when I watch a Reddit video where something fucking crazy, some like lady is running around butt naked screaming that she's God or something, like I'll look at the buildings and I'm like, well, I'll find that on Google Maps. I'll drop a pin and I'll look, and man, every time I drop a pin and stuff, it just looks so
It's all
shitty. I'm
broken
like,
down.
but I feel like Detroit would be that same way too.
Oh, yeah. I thought of Detroit, like, immediately.
I feel like
I've
it
never
would.
been there.
I was like, it's Detroit, but it masquerades as being better.
It's Gary is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, Indiana is like locked in time. I think a lot of those places
Yeah.
are.
It blows my mind. I would love to go to Detroit just to see, even Philly, just to see it, because when the time we went to Gary, I could not get over it. It was like we went into a different fucking world.
Well, I mean, at least from what I saw of Detroit, like, I like it more
Yeah.
than Philly.
Yeah.
I can see that. Where the hell did we go? I was headed to Kings Island one time, and I got off in Cincinnati on the wrong fucking exit, and I can't
Not
for
just
the life
incorrect.
of me. Wrong as fuck. And it was almost like a third world country. I kind of the same as when you go to like Atlanta, go right outside of the city, like Bankhead, stuff like that. And I talked about that before. Like their bathrooms aren't working. Everything's like boarded up, and like the land is reclaiming the buildings, but people are still living in them.
Yeah.
It's like going somewhere that, very, very
Underdeveloped.
The outskirts of Atlanta are a future Shire.
Yeah, and Atlanta, it was huge and beautiful and big buildings and nice people and Southern comfort. But the outskirts, I'm like right outside the city. If you went too far, it was like, Jesus Christ. And, I just wanted to see it, and it just made me fucking upset. I'm like, how the fuck can a city this big let right outside that just go?
Don't put any money
Decimate.
into it at all. It's
No, you know they
crazy.
got it, and they don't want to help their community and shit. But it's just Detroit was that way. St. Louis was a pretty decent.
I loved St.
Yeah,
Louis.
St. Louis is pretty
I
decent.
haven't been there. I think about driving there on a regular basis.
You should
though.
do it. I
We
really
should all go
liked
up for
it.
a trip.
I told
I
him.
want to go with you.
Oh, okay.
Bitch, yes,
No,
you
it's
do.
cool, man. I like that.
I told him there's so much like free shit to do also,
Yeah.
and it's all like really neat. All the stuff we did was neat anyway.
Yeah.
But I told him when we were there, it was like downtown Louisville without all the people. It was fucking great. I loved it. It had such a comfortable feeling to it, and
Yeah.
I think the crime rate in St. Louis isn't great, but I didn't feel that way while I was there.
I
In
didn't
Louisville,
feel
I'm nervous. I don't like
Yeah.
walking by myself. I didn't feel that way there.
That's good.
Yeah. Still be on high alert though, because you will get
Yeah.
stabbed.
You should be on high alert everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like dropping pins, and especially when like crazy shit always happens on these videos. And they're usually like New York is a big one that does that. Philadelphia is always on there. Detroit's always on there. And I drop a pin and I'll walk around just to see like is it
What
that
the
bad?
fuck does that mean?
On
Oh,
Google
on
Maps.
Google Map, you drop a
God.
pin and it lets you walk around downtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like on a
Like,
360
you keep
view.
saying it like it's common. I'm lost.
Oh, you should do it sometime, man.
We drop pins for each other like on maps so we can find
Yeah.
like go to this place and so we can find it.
Yeah, if I'm up in an attic and it's super hot that day and I feel like I might pass out, I'll drop a pin so that Sarah knows where to get me when I die.
Yeah.
Like I might die today.
I haven't
Here's a
heard
pin.
from him for several hours. I know where he is.
Right. No, that's cool. So you went Philadelphia, Salem. Was there anywhere else on the road trip?
Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, that was
Yeah, how
cool.
was that?
The first day it was kind of frustrating because we got there and there was this park that I wanted to go to. It looked pretty boss, but it turns out it was within the cemetery walls, and the cemetery closes at 4:30.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see where it's like the big draw of the town,
Oh.
and people just want to go in there at night. It's like it's fucking huge.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I could see not wanting people in there at night because I mean, there's a lot of shit in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the more people that show up, the more things get fucked up. So
Yeah. So, to maintain it, I could see it. But we ended up at this park where it had like a pathway of like the Headless Horseman. So, I walked that and it ended abruptly. And then I asked a cop and I was like, hey man, where the hell can I go to look for some cool shit?
Yes.
And he was like, oh, well, you can get into the cemeteries on foot. You just can't.
Oh.
Yeah. So we went and we couldn't get in.
Oh.
What a
She just
dickhead.
jumped the fence and be like, that cop told me I could.
They're pretty high. I was willing to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, I guess it's not like they're like this. They want to keep people out. They have just a little baby gate.
It's like they're just protecting against people like Snake.
Yeah.
Screw the honor system.
It's awesome.
No, it was cool. I liked it. We ate at a place. I forget what it's called now. But, it was, they were on an episode of Man vs. Food.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. And there was this badass burger that I had. And it came
I
with
think I saw a
like a big
picture.
order of fries and chili.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was
Did you
like,
eat the burger
man.
with a fork? Because when I was looking at it, I was like, there's no way I could get... I have like a fake tooth in the front too. So if I go too hard in the paint when it comes to like chicken wings or some shit, the motherfucker falls out.
It'll bite the
Yes.
bone.
Yeah. Well,
Don't
dude,
tell my man how to eat.
I'm just trying to live his life today.
I swear it falls out all the time. I think I was on a date with you one time and I
Yeah.
ate a chicken wing and it bounced on the table across and I was just like, this is life.
That
Yeah.
chicken stole my tooth.
It's awesome.
This is what you're in store for. This beautiful.
Look, my teeth
beautiful
are fucked
smell.
too. Like, I'm going to judge someone for having terrible teeth. If I've been thinking about it, if we go on vacation, my front teeth are like fillings. Most of my teeth are fillings, let's just be honest. But if it fell out, I would just have like gaping holes in
That'd be dope.
in the front, like right there.
Gaping hole.
Yes.
Yeah,
Whole
dude.
gape.
No, but yeah, a burger
sorry.
that size, and then like I don't know, Mac Miller talks about the one. Did you get the burger in Philly?
No.
Oh, but he talks about this one from Philly, and it has all the fries from the menu, the cheese, the burger, everything that comes on the plate is on the burger, and it comes out this big. There's no way you're putting your mouth around that unless you're Drake.
Yeah.
And then you can do it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now in Philly, we went to this bagel place, and they had pizza bagels.
Really?
I was like, yeah, boy.
That's
So
awesome.
I got that. Yeah,
Did
it
you
was
put
awesome.
Philly cream cheese on it? No. Oh, you piece of shit.
Mozzarella.
Ah.
And cream cheese.
And cream cheese.
But, they had sauce on it. So it's like whenever I make my pizza bagel sandwiches at home. But
Yeah. That sounds so fucking
it
good.
was awesome.
Eating at places is always my favorite thing about going anywhere. I know I'm just fat, but
It is pretty easy to enjoy
yeah.
eating at places.
Yeah. Especially we don't eat out that often, so when we do, it makes me so excited. It is like a treat. It's the best.
Treat.
Yes.
There's,
Fucking treat.
I don't know, we ate some pizza. Like once we got to Salem, we got pizza and we ate at a few different places, but there was this one place, it was like Fire Engine Pizza, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And I took a picture of the outside because I thought it looked cool, but their vent system or whatever was blowing hot pizza smell onto us.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, hey, you want pizza? She's like, we have pizza back at the room. Let's come on.
Yeah.
So,
dude.
we went back and ate that. But I took a picture of the place because I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I was looking up shit about, that Rob Zombie movie, Lords of Salem. Because I love that movie. I was like,
Yeah.
let's see some of the spots. That's one of the spots.
Oh,
badass.
really?
So I was like, hey, man, cool.
We got to go back and eat there.
I like their style blowing the pizza smell onto you before
Yes.
you get in there.
Yeah.
Because it did. That's exactly what they want. You already got pizza and they want you to get more. It's almost like when you
Oh, it
go to
would
church
work
and they're
on me.
blowing the cold air on you
Yeah.
when you're at the altar. And then there's a reason for that. And that's to make you feel like the Holy Ghost is getting inside you. And really, it's not.
crazy.
I was
It's
thinking it would
the-
just make me think it was haunted.
It
Why is
is.
it cold in
It
here?
is.
There are spirits everywhere.
I would just want
Everywhere.
to leave. Like, if I'm not comfortable, I don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah.
I got up early to come to this place I don't want to be anyway. Make it comfortable.
Make it comfortable.
I could live with some warmth. Maybe hell won't be so bad.
No, I'd be miserable in hell.
Have you seen this pineapple shit?
Oh, Pineapple Monster Reserve. No, I haven't,
I
man.
just had a watermelon one. It was pretty boss.
Let me
Nice.
have a
You want
drink
to
of
christen
that.
this one?
Oh, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Let me
You
have a
get the
drink.
second drink.
That's cool.
Mmm.
White
yeah.
pineapple.
Ooh, that's refreshing pineapple shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Is it good?
Oh,
I heard
yes.
your gulp. It
I
sounded good.
know.
This is so good. I don't usually, I don't like Monster.
Yeah.
But that tastes
I
like
like
fucking
that.
pineapple,
Yeah, they're
dude.
figuring it
Dump
out.
that shit in some rum.
Yeah, it would definitely be good in
yeah,
rum.
I was laughing, but yeah, rum and
Yeah. I
pineapple
was like,
is
what's
the
so
shit.
funny about that?
Rum,
I-
rum
I-
and
you
pineapple.
don't really drink a lot, but don't be a dick about it.
I know I thought about when we go on vacation, I'm like, man, maybe I'll have a fucking beer on the beach. It's been a while, And then I thought, man, I don't want to wake up the next day
Yeah,
weird.
Right? Well, and plus they've got that cool little deck area with the
I know.
hammocks.
Damn.
Ooh, dude. They got motherfucking hammocks. I can't
Hammock.
wait.
That's I
Hammocks.
really want to go. There's places like New Mexico and New York, definitely California,
New Delhi.
New Delhi,
Sure, New Delhi.
New Hampshire. But that's
New
where
Connecticut.
it's so hard for me to be like, oh, I want to take a vacation and not go to a beach. Like that's where in my head, I'm like, that's where vacation lies, in a beach. Like the one time we went to St. Louis, it was fucking snowing. And
Yeah.
it was so miserable. I'm like, we could have been at a beach where it's possibly
Yeah,
like
I still had a good
65.
time.
Did you go in January?
No, it was like December or some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it might have been
something
like
crazy.
November. It
I
was
mean, that's 1 month
definitely
difference.
Yeah.
winter time, but I thought it was great. I didn't
No,
mind that
it
it was
great.
cold.
But
Mom
I
and Dad-
always see like the beach being vacation when in reality you could take a vacation anywhere. But it's almost like if I'm going to waste a week,
Yeah.
I need to waste it at a beach.
I mean, I feel you in a sense because it's like, oh, vacation. Oh, what beach you going to? But to not take a beach vacation is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna
But
do that
so
more
it's taking a
often.
beach vacation. Vacations are nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
matter
feel
where you go.
like
Do you?
I need the beach. I love the ocean. It's one of my favorite things. I love, especially in October, because it's hot, but it's not too hot, and it's not like too cold. You can still get in the ocean and everything.
No assholes are there.
Yeah, there's
getting
not a shit ton of
wasted.
people. Like, I can just lay on the beach. We have toys and chairs, and I
Yeah,
can
we
play
do.
in the sand. Like, I was made for the beach.
Yeah.
Definitely. I could,
Definitely.
I guess, probably get behind another place. Because Salem would be cool, but I feel like I would just have to take 2 vacations that year.
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
have
who
to
does
go to a
that?
beach.
Who has the time for that?
Us.
Nobody has the time
We
for
make
that.
time. I take care of the schedule. I'll make that happen.
No.
Casper's
has time
mom
for
goes on 2 vacations a year.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't
Just
know,
because
dude.
society tells you shouldn't do it doesn't mean you shouldn't
Yeah,
do
fuck
think-
society.
I think
Society
money
says a lot of
tells us
dumb
we,
shit.
we can't. I don't think the
Fuck
schedule
money.
has anything.
Money
to
don't
do with
talk.
it. Money's fine.
I think money's the
Look,
problem.
'cause
not
we
No,
don't-
money does talk.
We don't like do crazy things. We don't drink and we don't do fucking drugs anymore. So
Right.
when we go on vacation, all we do is we buy lunch food that we can eat at the hotel
Yeah.
and we buy dinner. And not even every single night. Sometimes we have leftovers. So we don't spend that much money. The hotel room, and we rent a car so we don't put the miles on ours.
Yeah.
And we don't spend that much money. We could spend $2,000 a year on 2 vacations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
fuck
yeah.
yes. I'll make it happen.
God. I forget how much we spent. It was, I don't know, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to do because you spend money when you're out and about and you're in a new place. You spend money on stuff that you wouldn't normally spend it on, and you're like, ah, fuck it, I'm on vacation. Vacation gives you a sense of like anything's possible.
I can do anything, yeah.
Yeah.
I take a bunch of shit with me on vacation, like the audio thing. This time I'm taking like filming stuff.
Audio thing.
Yeah, it's
Take
a
some film and
interface.
stuff.
And you end up not using most of it because you're just trying to relax because you don't get to relax when you're at home. And it's I don't know, man, but it's a double-edged sword because the whole time you're on vacation you think like, oh, I'm missing out on work, I got this to do. Like
So
it's hard to.
I was just going at it. Like I took my bag with me and I had my lenses and shit, and
Yeah,
I was just switching them out constantly. Like I was that asshole.
yeah, dude,
Look,
you gotta
man,
be though
you
if you're trying
gotta-
to get shots.
You gotta find a way to relax though, because I don't think I'm gonna take my schedule and stuff, and I'll return calls if we get any. But I don't think about work. You gotta
Oh,
find a way
yeah,
to shut
but,
that off.
On the way
When
there, Patricia called because I mean she didn't know I was on vacation.
Yeah.
So I let it go the first time, and then she called back. I was like, "What the fuck do you want?" And then I helped her with her shit, and I was like, "All right." And then that was it.
Yeah.
Like the whole week, I didn't.
I think it'd be
It was
easier
awesome.
to like not think about that. Like if you worked for a company and you have like vacation days, stuff like I'm saying that it's different when you're like a company owner
Oh.
and it all rides on you.
Yeah.
So
Shut
then
your
you gotta,
brain
like-
down.
I can
It's
agree
hard to
with that,
do.
but we have 3 weeks
Fucking
of
do it.
jobs.
Do it.
We have 3 weeks of jobs scheduled already once we come back.
Yeah.
So we're fine. It's not like we don't have any work when we return. We already have some. So
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like you're taking the perfect time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
maybe.
yes.
So just go.
Or maybe the world will burn down when I go.
Good.
That'd be
Shit.
fun.
If we die on a beach, I'm great with that.
I'd be fucking mad if like all this time I'm like the sea levels are gonna rise and all that shit, and then I take a vacation to Florida finally, and then it rises that week. Like,
Yeah.
And it fucking overtakes the thing. How fucking is that ironic? Would that be ironic or
Look
no?
at the boogie
think,
boards.
Does it be ironic? It'd be like now we gotta get out of there on a boat and shit's fucked up.
You better
and-
document that shit.
I know that'd be the luck though, bro. That'd
We're
be
gonna
luck.
see UFOs.
Yeah.
I want to see
happening.
a UFO
It
so
is
fucking
happening.
bad,
Yeah.
dude. It's like if I would pay a UFO to come see me. Like
Yeah,
I will
for
pay
sure.
you. I know money
I
doesn't
got Earth
matter.
money, bitch.
Yeah. This is useless even to us, but
I'll
it's
cook
the
'em a
only
meal.
bargaining chip I have.
Yes.
Alien,
That'd be
come
great.
see me.
Well, and
Alien.
every time we go,
Come look at me.
I tell them I want us to go walk on the beach at night.
Never
because
do it.
We never do
Never do
because
Why?
crabs get out and they run
Lazy.
around. Oh, because once we're in, we're comfortable, we've eaten, we're just chilling.
Yeah.
And-
Fair enough. Yeah.
But the little crabs run around. It'd be so cool. We're absolutely doing it this time. I bet
Maybe.
that's when we'll see a UFO.
Did you know? I just read.
Yeah.
Did you know that frogs, which I don't know how they fucking tell that this is a thing. Did you know frogs are 200,000 years old? Like frogs have been around for 200,000 years.
I didn't
That's
know
awesome.
that, but
No.
I assumed as much.
That's just crazy. I think, and that's because I saw a frog. I was out late last night I was taking pictures of the sky and stuff. I looked down. There's this little frog. He didn't move. He was just chilling. I think waiting on frog pussy. I don't know.
Motherfucker had a beard.
Dude, it just sat there and like stoically. And I got to thinking about, because I was sitting there like staring at this guy making up a story for this frog. And I was like, just imagine what this frog has seen, man.
Yeah.
Just imagine like the progression, because like his frog people tell him stories about the old days, and then those frog people tell old days, and then you get all these stories. It's like, can you imagine? They were here before Jesus.
Wasn't everything.
Before Jesus.
Chinamen were here before Jesus.
I think that's a racial slur.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's I think a lot of things have happened before Jesus, and it's so weird that's I don't know.
That they say no. Yeah. It is very weird. Like everything happened before Jesus.
Even weirder.
Nope, that's when it started.
There were thousands of people in America before Europeans came. Like the story that's what fucks me up. The story that they tell you in school is that Columbus came over, fucking landed on Plymouth Rock, and
that's
then
just a solid starting point.
No, it's not even the starting point.
No, I mean like for kids that live in America.
Oh, yeah.
If you go back to the dawn of time, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
No, that's not. I'm going back to that same story before. Like, I mean, weeks before. Let's just say like a week before. There were thousands of different people on American soil.
Yeah.
That Columbus, when they like come over and we started to colonize America, we really just killed off and oppressed everybody that was on the land. They were like, "This is ours now, and you got to deal with it."
It is.
It's all about perspective of what you want your population to think like.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just interesting to me that it's very interesting that they don't teach you the right information.
Yeah, just teach it the way it was.
Yeah, just tell us what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And call it a day.
That's why
we already don't like America.
Well,
so
I mean, they kind of did.
No, they didn't.
To a degree.
They try to act like we.
Hey, here's some fucking sailor guy. He found this place. We came back. We set up shop on this rock. Killed some Indians.
A bunch of them.
I mean, they don't say that. Oh yeah, and we loved the natural people. You know, we got along with them great, and we didn't kill them at all, and they agreed to give us their land.
It's true. They don't say that.
Right? They're like, oh yeah, we gave them blankets and we fucked them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
So yeah,
I was complete when I read it on my phone. It was like happy like Indigenous Day instead of like Columbus. Columbus is like the second thing that popped up, and I was so jacked about that because at least the conversation is changing.
Yeah.
And like we're realizing that, hey, European settlers were fucked up, and they did the same shit to Canada and everywhere else they landed. Like they don't give a fuck about who was on this land, and now they still don't give a fuck. And I don't know, man. It's rough to think about.
Isn't it wild?
Really, especially considering the historical ownership of areas and the treatment of the indigenous people.
Has always been fucked
at least we didn't enslave the Indians. You know.
Yeah.
We might have.
Pat ourselves on the back.
All right, we might have.
We might have. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't know.
We're like, no. We'll just kill the Indians. Let's ship in some blacks.
Yeah, like let's make it harder on ourselves.
These people won't make good slaves. Isn't it wild, though, that people are still fighting over land? It's 2021. People are still fighting over land.
What do you mean?
Yeah, and land is still important.
Yeah, it's just, there's wars being fought over territory.
Oh, yeah,
I want
especially if it
this
has
to be
oil on it.
mine.
It's forever going to happen.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's just quit. Like, just settle down.
Did you know
and relax.
there's enough land on the planet for like all of us to have what was like 16? Well, that was just in America. There's enough land to, like, you can all be landowners. Everybody could be landowners with a home, and like, everybody live comfortably, and nothing would change, like, as far as cities go and
things would change.
The footprint. But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's enough land for everybody. There's 7 or 8 billion of us.
Yeah.
But there's still enough land for everybody to, like, own their own place and land and till their own soil. But why are we not a people that do that? Why are we not a higher
It's for the same reason
being?
that homeless people don't just go live in the woods and fend for themselves. It's because civilization of man is preferable to the natural state.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Well, and homeless people most of the time have like drug addiction. They're not going to just go into the woods. They're homeless for a reason. They got to have a way to get drugs.
Yeah. But, you know,
They can't make their own. I guess they could.
They could.
Yeah.
They could learn. And then they could have their own shit. See, like whenever we went to the Mutter Museum in Philly. It's like a medical museum.
Yes.
It's cool.
It's
for
the
us to eat those
coolest
crucified
shit
babies.
ever.
But they have this garden out back. And it has a list, like, there's like an ass load of things out there. And each thing has its own little board or whatever we'll call it. And it shows, like, what it is and what it's used for.
Yeah.
They have so many fucking things.
Yeah.
So if people would just educate themselves on what plants they need
Yeah.
for drug usage,
Oh yeah.
jack some of those, go grow them in the woods, have your own food source, and you're fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I'd rather stay in a city that wants to run me off. I'll stay in a shanty town instead of fending for myself.
Well, you also brought up a good point about those ghost towns that they have for sale. I didn't know this before you fucking told me that there are legitimately ghost towns that are available for purchase.
It fucked me up because I saw like a YouTube video.
awesome.
This guy who was like, I've spent the last 18 months in a ghost town. Like, what?
Yes.
Do they not kick you out?
I guess
you know.
they wouldn't, right?
Him and his friends bought it. They're working on building it up.
Yeah, because I think the hardest thing would be at first is like not having electricity in the place. I don't know, you'd have to look into it and see what kind of power plant was at the place before. I'm sure you can get like a generator deal going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be super interesting, and it's not. I thought it was going to be outrageous. It's not that expensive.
No.
You
Some of
found
them
one
are,
for like
but-
80,000.
Yeah, some of them are reasonable.
And I wonder how much. Did you read how much land that had, or how many buildings were in the place?
Most of it tends to be like a lot.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
So you
get,
already
like-
have a base to work with.
Yeah, you got a solid base, but you have to have the know-how of how to get it usable.
Yeah, I think we could figure that out.
Yeah.
We could all work together to do that. I think, but I would like to take a couple of people because it reminds me of Black Wall Street. That's that thing we watch. Like within that community, they traded goods and services, and they worked for each other. They had their own everything, their own church, their own barbershop, their own city hall, their own. I mean, you name it. They had their own thing, and they operated within. And I think they might have exported some things to bring money into the community, but once the money was in the community, it stayed within the community. And they were very wealthy, but before the I guess you would call that like civil war started between the whites and the blacks. But it can be done where you could buy a ghost town and then operate within and trade your goods and services among. I mean, we would have to take a couple people with us that are willing to have kids.
Yeah.
'Cause we're not gonna have them.
Well, and you can just get some investors, and they could help with the building up of the place. You just have to, give them a piece of it or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, it'd be awesome.
So I would prefer to avoid that if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to like owe somebody.
No.
Or be like,
And they're like, I gave you this. I'm entitled to this. Well, why don't you come stay at our hotel? And then we just murder them.
Just think though, like, yes, it's not that much money to buy them, but think about how much money it costs to fix up one house.
Yeah.
To fix up an entire town is going to be so much money. It would be unreal.
See, I'm thinking in terms of like we go out there with some tools and we just use the natural shit around the land. Yeah, to like build it up. So instead of it costing a lot of money, it just takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, I think it would take, quite a few years to get it to where it was operating, but it would be super fun. And you can like
Super fun.
You could like set it up where you have like tourists come in for that shit, and it's like real simple, laid back shit, and people could come and get away like they do at Airbnbs.
But
Be
like the Amish, but like debauchery town.
Debauchery town.
Debauched Amish city.
Yes. That's awesome.
I'd be down for that idea.
With the idea of like thinking about the land and the buildings and shit, and it's modern society. I mean, it's cool, I love the internet and my phone and shit, but the idea of just, all right, well, I'm gonna wake up today. I'm gonna work to get my food ready, have my shit here, and I'm not bothered by the rest of the world's problems.
Yeah. You could, I mean, you pretty much, a lot of those places are isolated anyways. Like, you'd be super isolated. And think about this. In a year or two, by the time, like, the Starlink is prepared, you'll have internet in very remote locations anyways. So it wouldn't be too long. I'm sure it's going to be a wait, but, you know, by then, you'll be fine, I think. Yeah. You know, and who knows? Maybe there's, like, a small internet signal. Just bleeping in the distance.
I wouldn't even give a shit about it. Just give me some paper, a pen,
well, and there were
and a guitar.
A couple that were just in the middle of the desert, which would be awesome. They were very small. There were like 20 buildings.
Oh, yeah.
I
watched this thing on YouTube about I watched this thing on YouTube about a chick that I guess she had just like come across this building that was in the middle of the desert. And it was just like squatter rights still. And she just took over the place and she doesn't have like electricity and shit like that. But dude, she was super fucking jet. She was like, it's the desert, so you have to get used to things that you wouldn't normally have to do. But
she learned how to do a lot.
Yeah, one chick.
Yeah.
She was a hardcore chick.
Yeah, she was awesome. I remember that. That was a very interesting watch.
Yeah.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Nobody out there to fuck with you. Nobody out there. Yeah, just be nice. You know.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want, and you don't have the police to come in. Like, they can't police your town because it's your town. Like, we will get our own police, and I'll just put you in charge of it. We just won't police nothing.
He'll start killing people.
Grease my palms.
Yeah, dude.
Here's $1.
Yeah, we might have to look into this, man, and just buy. I wonder if we can find one like in West Virginia or somewhere in Kentucky for that matter. I don't know if there was any in Kentucky.
I don't know. The only
if
ones
it's one in Kentucky, you're probably going to get raided by the goblins.
I'd be cool with that. Bring them, man. That's what our tourist attraction will be.
You
Goblins
might get
and
murdered
shit.
by the goblins.
Yeah. Dude, right? Thank you. I know. It'd be so cool. People would come from far and wide. Like, look how many people go to, like, Roswell.
Yeah. Far and wide.
That's right.
What a saying.
I'm so stupid. I know.
An old lady.
That's right.
Oh, to come from far and wide to see our circus attraction.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Abraham Lincoln.
That'd be so cool, though, if the goblins came and got us and, well, not got us, but they were around and they would fuck with people and we could have a hotel based solely on that. We could hire people to be the goblins.
If you don't know why we're mentioning goblins, there's like a folklore in Kentucky where there's goblins in old abandoned coal mines.
Yeah.
That they live underground. We don't know what they are. We call them goblins because a lot of no-tooth redneck people.
Yeah.
That's the only word they knew how to describe them.
I think different people have different names for them, but the description has been pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goblin-esque.
It's just a matter of like the ears that give them the whole goblin thing.
Yeah.
It's like, are they aliens? Are they goblins?
Hell yeah.
Because, you know, aliens could be subterranean.
Ooh, we could catch a few of those bitches and put them in the bank that we build.
In the bank.
So it kind of reminds you of Harry Potter.
Yes.
What?
The goblins that run the Hogwarts, the bank. Not Hogwarts, the fucking, I forget what the bank's called.
Yeah, whatever their bank is.
They got goblins!
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We just ask them, like, hey, you want to work at this bank? You can fuck with people. And they'd be like, for sure.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I could go for that. I could go for that, an alien abduction, for sure. I'm good with that.
Oh, I've been dying to tell you. I don't know. We were talking about something. Oh, the best way to die. And I decided how I want to die. It will never happen, but it would be awesome.
You don't know.
I guess that's true. Yeah, especially with Elon Musk making space travel for normal people to being a thing. I want to be up in space, and I just want to fucking push off and just float until I die.
God.
Maybe pop my suit if it takes too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be awesome.
God.
Can you imagine how quiet and beautiful it would be?
Yeah.
It would be awesome.
It would be awesome. But then it would also take forever to get near anything.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I've just been floating around in blackness for the last 3 years.
Hell yes.
I haven't eaten a meal. but
It
I'm
would
still
be-
alive.
It would be dope to see the sun without an atmosphere. How you
Yeah.
have this just blackness, and you would see a ball off in the distance that gave light, but there would be nothing to reflect off of
Right.
to signify like this is light that is shining on me. It would just be radiation shining on you.
Yeah.
It'd just be weird to see that
Yeah.
how it is, you know. And you would see this night sky for what it truly is. So all the stars that we don't see, I think you'd see.
It'd be awesome.
But I don't know if you could see the Milky Way from like that point of view. I don't know how that light works.
I don't know. I guess it would depend on where exactly you are, probably. I'd
Yeah,
be
man.
cool with it either way.
I'd be
It's
pretty
just-
dope with that. Dope
I-
with that. Down with
I
that.
think about this. It's just,
I was just
floating
picturing you
into
doing
nothingness.
you do your thing where you float into nothingness, but add a sword.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I'm going to go out into nothingness with a sword. And then you end up coming in contact with another life form somehow.
Yeah.
And your sword kind of gives you...
Oh, they think I was like a god.
Or you
Yeah.
could put
Yeah.
a solar cell on your backpack so that you can open the solar cell up and then you could gain momentum.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guarantee you could get to Saturn before you died.
Yeah.
I
That'd
think
be
you could
cool.
get to Saturn before you died.
If
For
you had
sure.
food and stuff.
Because look, imagine that. Like if you're going to go out for a mission like that, that's what I always say about the spaceship. Let's say Elon gets up to 70, 80, and you know his time's coming and shit. And we just haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
Why not just shoot the guy off on a rocket and land him on Mars? Like, what would stop that from happening? So that you could see it for yourself in person. Because they've already landed a rover on it. Just land old Elon down in the fucking dust
Elon.
and have him walk around and play it. Like, and then he can report back all these findings. He could tell you, like, firsthand and shit. Knowing he ain't coming back, that's fine. Like, just fucking, or send him out there with one of those landers. That way he has a place that at least he can have food for, like, the next, couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
I was getting up in age and shit, even now I think about it, like, I would
It'd be cool.
definitely sign up to be, like, a suicide mission.
Use me for science.
Yeah.
Fuck
Fuck
yes.
sending a monkey or a dog. Send my ass. I'll
Yeah.
go.
I think it's cool. They should definitely find people that are willing to do that. There's probably so many people that would
They would
be
sign
willing to
up.
do that.
It'd be better
I'd be
than
fine
here.
with it. And then, sure, like if maybe it won't be in my head that it's definitely a suicide mission. We'll see how it goes, and maybe you'll come back, and maybe you won't. Cool,
I got
man.
a baby sliver of hope.
Yeah.
That's enough.
A baby's
Send me.
liver.
A baby's liver of
Baby's
hope.
liver. No, I'd be down for it. I think that's, I don't know. I just,
So badass.
yeah. But, I mean, anything to do with that's the unknown. That's why I think people that get wrapped up about worldly problems and political problems and shit, and there's just so much more to this life and then what's in front of you. Why the fuck would you muddy the waters of your time and energy and mental
With
space
fucking politics.
with the dumbest fucking thing ever created, which is politics?
Yeah.
Like, why would you muddy this amazing thing that you have in this time that you have on this planet that is very short? Why wouldn't you do something useful instead of worrying about all that? Like, that's what I don't get. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they're just wasting their time and energy. And there's so much. You are a very, very miraculous thing. Very lucky. It's a miracle.
7.5 billion miracles walking around.
That's another thing I told her. I was like, people think they're fucking special. Like everybody that pops out of a vagina thinks they're special. But
Hey,
do you know how many
They
babies
don't
pop out of a vagina?
vaginas. They fall out of the life givers.
The life giver vagina.
Yeah.
So, but there's so many motherfuckers born. Think about, in the last 100 years, think about how many babies popped out of vaginas in that period. Probably hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, right?
A lot.
You're not that special because eventually on an infinite timeline, your ass will be born. And you're doing nothing with that time but fucking worried about why Joe Biden fucking has a weird hairdo and why he has these moles or he might be an alien. I just I think that's what bugs me the most is why waste your fucking time. Money doesn't matter. It's a construct that we made up. Politics don't matter. It's a construct we made up. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
I love man-made things.
Yeah, for a motherfucker, like, if you want to,
problems with it. I mean,
I have fucking qualms
without
with
money and politics, it's every man for himself.
Let's do it. Sign us up. Let's fucking do it.
All right.
That's I just think why waste your time with anything that like, and that's what is shitty about like half in like the company. There's so much like, I don't even know if there's so much I want to do, but I'm just saying that I know that working for the paycheck and retirement later for whatever, I know working is such a fucking waste of time because in reality, that's not what you wwere pushed out of the vagina for.
So what are you pushed out for?
We haven't figured it out because for so long we've been
Then
taught
don't you
politics.
think we need to have a job in political structures to help us find that?
No.
Nope.
I don't think.
I don't
I think
What?
without it, it would
Because
clear the.
without it, then it's every man for himself, and then we're going to go back to shorter lifespans, and you get
Maybe.
taken out by the flu instead of hit by a bus.
I
you
think
know?
politics and all this worry
So much
and all
better.
that shit. I think what happens is that we've come so far in our evolution to where we don't worry about like the shit on the outside killing us and disease really anymore. Shit like that. We don't worry. They have to motherfucking create something to get us riled up and worried and stuff like that when we could be creating and building and doing and shit like that without the profit motive on our
Yeah, but
mind.
we're not. People don't.
Because they
without
come up with this social construct of politics and money and
No, I'm saying all of that stuff helps the progress continue.
that's where we
Because it's-
disagree though.
But it's like the idea of somebody, like I assume a goal of yours is to retire
Yeah.
and not work anymore. And you just do what you want in life. You know, you can still create and work,
Yeah.
but you don't have a job.
Right.
All right. So considering that is your personal aim or a personal aim of yours, you need something that still drives you.
Yes.
Otherwise, the rest of society, like you, would just rest on their laurels. They get comfortable, and then as a society, we would die.
Right.
But without the idea of political structures and money and just the idea of general competition and change, you get stagnant. You got nothing. And it's crap. And just like you could say that all bad relationships are crap,
Yeah.
every bad relationship that you guys had got you to each other.
Aww.
Every horrible, stupid thing that you would advise people to not do got you to where you are.
Right.
So, should say yes. Dive in, do that horrible, stupid shit, but be quick about it.
Yeah.
You got to think too, though. This is what kind of kills me about that construct and being okay with it is the fact that the majority of us, the vast majority, won't be able to retire. Another big majority, when they do retire, won't have the health to enjoy it, right? And they wasted all this time to get up to a point in their life where they may not get to because they may die. They may not have the money to do it. They may not have the health. They may not have the resources. All this shit that can go wrong to get there. I think that the number of people who actually get to retire comfortably and do whatever they want and all that, and they have their health about them and all, you know, that they haven't broke their back getting there. I think by the time I'm 62, 5, wherever I go to retire, I'm going to be fucking broke down. I'm already like got back issues, neck issues, and fucking bone issues and shit. Like by the time I get there, you can write it off. You're wheelchairing me around.
Look, this is the point though of being like present and enjoy. Like, yes, you have to work, but do things that you enjoy because there's no guarantee that tomorrow will be okay.
Like don't labor brainlessly for a future that might not come.
Right.
But if you don't labor at all for a future that might not come, then whenever you get there, you're hungry and you got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to
And your
continue
body's
to labor.
broken
Yeah.
and you still have to labor.
I think maybe when I get older, I'll just adopt my old ways and start like strong arming people and robbing and killing. Like,
Hell
I
yeah.
mean,
Might
This
as
old
well.
motherfucker robbed me.
No
I'd
one
be
would
the
expect
oldest
it.
one. Nobody would. I'd be just walking with my walker and a shotgun underneath the jacket, like I'm about to kill these motherfuckers.
Oh my legs. Psych.
Yeah. My legs.
That's I fear. I think this is what I fear the most, and I always feel like I'm disconnected from the community in which I live. Not just this, but just the entire world. On the majority outlook on life with the politics, money, and like
Right.
the motive to move on. The problem is I feel so disconnected because we are such an ugly people. Like we are ugly to one another. We're ugly to ourselves. We're ugly to the money that we make. We're ugly in general. We're ugly people. We're two-faced. We do shit for money. Like we're ugly people,
Yeah,
right?
but two-faced implies that there's a good side.
Yeah, but it's way underneath, and we haven't seen it for fucking thousands of years.
But isn't it?
It's there, but the only way to reach that beautiful part of us is to give up what we currently think is right.
I say, Becca, I don't think everybody's shitty. I say we get rid of the motherfuckers that are.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything good for us. As a whole, you're not doing anything. So send them to space.
Yeah. I mean, to a degree, that makes sense.
Like a T-shirt gun.
But then there's like the philosophical
awesome.
idea of like, at what point do we just become the bastards then?
Immediately, the first person we shoot into space with the bastards, but we're doing it for a good reason. Intention matters.
Well, yeah, but I mean, with like the Japanese internment camps,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, we're putting them there for good reason. We're protecting our borders. It was them that did it. They're gonna do it again. In retrospect, we were the assholes.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, the first guy we shoot into space. Oh yeah, man, it was for a good cause, the greater good.
Yeah.
Well, who decides the greater good? We do. Well, you
guess
still
that's
shot
true.
an asshole into space with a T-shirt gun.
Asshole in space. I love the T-shirt gun idea.
I know.
I want to get your opinion on something. I had a buddy contact me recently about another friend of ours that was in school, and so he had the Pfizer vaccine. He got both of them, right? Mandated by like his company didn't technically force him, but it was
Right.
pretty much implied that you could
Make your
lose your
choice,
job.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets that. About a week and a half later, maybe 2, he develops throat ulcers, mouth ulcers. I mean, to the point it looks like something out of a fucking horror movie because his like lips were sticking together because of all the blood and the sores and stuff.
Right.
So that happened, and his sister whatever had a
Late-term
late-term
miscarriage.
miscarriage, and it was like a week and a half after. So it was kind of the same timeline.
Right.
And then I looked that up, about the ulcers. And like, is this a common thing? And it's not like common, but it happens.
recorded.
Yeah, and a percentage of the people that have it, depending on their biology, it happens to. And of course, the guy was fucked up about it. I would be fucked up about it too. You took this thing and it was supposed to help you, and then it fucking. I mean, it's gonna like lasting effects on them. Like, do you think that we should? And that's what Pfizer and Moderna, all of them, when you go to take it, they have no responsibility if you have those reactions. Your company, no responsibility for when that
Right.
happens. You can't go after anybody for financial help when you have to go to the doctor for months to get these ulcers taken care of and shit. So, I mean, as much as like she got the vaccine, but I didn't. And I know people are just like, oh, it's whatever. But how do you feel? I mean, do you feel like that guy should be upset and completely like fucked up about the government and taking the vaccine and shit?
I mean, I could see where he would be,
Yeah.
but
What's your feelings on this situation?
it's like the idea of making an omelet.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to crack a few eggs.
Yeah.
That's what I
everybody's-
felt like you'd be.
Not everybody's genetic material is the same, and it's
Right.
not necessarily like forced evolution of humanity, but it's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, your coding is weak,
Yeah.
and now we know.
Well,
Yeah.
and especially like all vaccines, there's like
Come with
there's like a less than 1% chance that
Tylenol can fuck people up.
right. Yeah, it's
So-
killed people. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. So
I figured you'd be, because I thought about that too. I was like, well, they can't, there's so many people on the planet with so many different codes in their
Right.
genetics. Like they
Right.
can't really, an all around universal thing. They can't do that. It's never been done. Like you can't for every
Right.
single person. So unless you engineered for each, set of code, but
That'd be crazy.
We're not that advanced yet.
yeah, I just got to the end, in which I'm sure you could do prior testing to figure that out. Like, oh no, this is going to give it to you, because they have enough now. I think the percent was up there to where they had enough to categorize these people in their code, and what had happened. But it's just, I figured you'd be that, because I mean, think about the billions of people on this planet. We're trying to fight something before it comes, Spanish flu, before it comes, the first wave of the flu. Sure. And we're trying to get it before it happens. And I understand that. Like, and that is the sad truth about it, is like, it is an omelet where you're going to have to crack a few eggs, and some people are going to go, I get that. But it is like, and it's shitty too for, say, the people who already believe that the government's against them, already believe that everything's corrupt and everything's fucked up. And now,
I mean, if you operate from the perspective that everything's corrupt and they're doing it intentionally to harm people, then you're gonna get fired up and think, oh no. But the vast majority of people that have taken it are fine.
Right.
And then you have to think, well, for the greater good,
I know,
maybe only 95% of us make it.
Yeah.
Sucks for those 5% and their loved ones, but you're not going to get taken out just because the 5% didn't want to fucking do anything.
I think if they're going to push it so much that either the company pushing it so much or the vaccine creators, the pharmacy company, whatever, should be financially responsible, at least for the side effects that are directly related to the vaccine.
Well,
so
I see, like, there's a part of me where it's like the whole idea of them not having accountability for what happens on a surface level. Yeah, it's bullshit. You made it. Fucking stand up for it.
Right.
Take what's coming to you. But at the same time, if it affects 1 million people negatively, and they all want $1,000,
Yeah.
that's $1,000 million.
Yeah.
That's
a lot. And
it's not just that it's
and
not.
then that would take away any incentive that they would have to do good in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it definitely doesn't help their case that there have been a bunch of problems within the pharmaceutical industries.
Already, yeah.
Where they're like, oh, well, I mean, we knew that this was doing this bad thing. We didn't say anything, but they're our best shot.
You know what I like? I like when they go after a pharmacy company, say for like the opioid pandemic thing, and they get these big lawsuits out of them, and they win, and they get all this money. Have you ever known a drug addict to be like, hey, guess what? The system gave me like this money and this help and this treatment because of how fucked Pfizer was when they gave us the Opaners or whatever. Look at this. They're gonna help me so much. Where the fuck does the money go from the one lawsuit that against big pharma? Where the fuck does that money go? They've
I think it goes to the people
billions.
that were prescribed it,
Yeah.
instead of the people that just bought it on the street.
Well, and I feel like too.
Oh, direct. So when the doctor wrote the prescription, that person, not
the people that are taking it as prescribed, not the junkies, buddy.
Not the junkies. Damn
Well,
it.
I would say
It's the only people I know.
That would be funny though.
they would send out like a thing for like a class action
like
lawsuit, and if you get it in the mail, then okay, reply, and you might get some of it.
We won.
Yeah.
Here's my $27.50.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I think we had that. Somebody sent us a check for like $10 or some shit.
Yeah.
It was for the gel phone system.
Oh, yeah.
And they fucked us out of like money apparently and dropping calls and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And they sent it was a bullshit check.
I don't
though.
give a fuck how much it was. I was jacked. I was like, that is cool, dude.
that's cool.
I couldn't believe they did. I mean, I remember
At least they
being
recognized it.
Yeah, I remember being genuinely upset. It's an expensive phone call.
Yeah.
It's only 15 minutes, and you don't always get the full 15 minutes because of count and food and stuff like that,
And they
let
drop the
alone a
calls.
drop call. It's definitely very upsetting. But so I was jacked about it. But you're right, it was only $10 or something like that. But,
but
still,
it's still like,
yeah.
it's nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, and I think that's on anything. Same with like the black community or the opioid epidemic victims, shit like that. With any group of people that have been wronged in a serious way, the only thing they want, especially after a long period of time goes by, and we're trying to make change. They just want recognition.
Reconciliation.
They just want to be recognized. They want their argument recognized. They want to be heard. They want the stories out there. They just want to be heard and accept it, the story accept it, and taught the right way and stuff. That's all. It has nothing to do with the money.
To a degree, it's that. But another is, give me my fucking money.
If something definitely fucked me up enough, I would for sure want financial compensation. But, some stuff... No, just recognize that you're a piece of shit and admit it. Yeah.
And recognize that you wronged this group of people and all that shit. And then some things definitely. But I think with the black community, it'd be super easy in the sense like build better housing, build better schools, give them financial help. So I mean, it's a simple process. Like you don't have to do 40 acres and a mule. All you have to do is make the system correct.
Who's going to know what to do with it?
Right. Make the fucking
system
system correct.
I got to feed this mule.
And you going to pay me to feed it? Yeah. Hell yeah.
But I think that's all. All of us, we just want to be heard. We just want to be noticed. We want to be heard. We want to be recognized.
Well, I mean...
Validate me.
I could understand the idea if we just want to be heard and recognized and all that shit. Like if the people that were actually slaves were still alive.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, as a governing body, I guess, it might be nice if they're like, okay, yeah, we did fuck you guys over.
Yeah.
We're lying bastards.
Yeah. Then the best option would be to build the system up within those communities, right?
Yeah. I mean, they should do that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, how many times are you going to patch that tire that's fucked up before you get a new tire?
Yeah. Well, I'm
not saying we should kill the black community.
No.
But
yeah.
Definitely want to specify that.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's when a lot of things, all this stuff with COVID in the last few years with Q and all the misinformation and all the stories, like we're going to have to we're going to have to change the way we think because we're headed for when you don't believe anything, when you're against your government, when you're shitty to other people. You're against other people. Like we're headed for I'm not talking about Q. I'm not talking about conspiracy. I'm just saying that we're headed for bad times in the sense that we can't find common ground with nobody. Nobody believes in anybody. Nobody trusts anybody. Nobody cares about nobody. We don't give a shit about the government. We think they're all lying to it. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, and with lockdown, like people are mentally unwell and
nobody's getting help for it.
Yeah, no one's getting help for it. Like
it's got me mentally fucked up, but I will not go against the rules of the land.
I know.
I'm not hugging grandma because my governor said I shouldn't.
Right. Thanks, governor. It is crazy.
It's like if you're that spineless, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Get the help you need.
Yeah.
Stop being a bastard.
I'm starving.
I'm about to eat these grilled cheeses and hamses.
Ow!
Hammies.
Hams and grilled cheeses.
Hammy cheers.
Hammer my
and
hammy.
shaws.
No, man. That was episode 125 of the Wildly Uninteresting podcast.
Wasn't a very hype episode. It's only
I know you can leave that hype button alone, but you're gonna hit it anyways. I know this. No, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Yeah, dude, that was a pretty decent episode for taking a vacation day. Again, I'm Adam. That's Ian. That's Sarah. Please like, subscribe, share with your people, and tell us where we went wrong in this episode.
Skibbity bop bop
We should chain up the politicians.
Uninteresting podcast.
I'm down with that. Can do anything with them or just...